Hold up.
Push all the way out.
Start over.
Okay, the bolt's here. Never got tightened. Never got tightened up. It never finished the whole job. This piston, see this piston? This piston shouldn't be, it shouldn't, when we hit the brakes it pushed out because we didn't know it was off, which doesn't make any sense why it was off. I don't understand. On the other side. Yes, my gosh. I just have filmed this one here. It's not hooked up at all. It was sitting in there like that. So, and then the caliper again. See the caliper hanging? This one should be, we might save this one, but yeah, just, I don't.
That's where the, what the hell is that was missing there?
That's the CV axle, that's the other, you got the other half in the trunk with the carrier bearing. That's the CV axle where they broke it apart. Because it don't pop off like that, it pops, the whole CV axle comes out of the transmission. They didn't pop it out of the tranny. See this right here? See that piece right here?
Yeah.
That's the other part of the axle. That goes inside there, and it doesn't supposed to come out of there. It's supposed to pop. The whole axle is supposed to pop out of the transmission.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Just a lot of stuff.
Okay. So
the flywheel has been changed. So you can see it's got a brand new flywheel in it. Hopefully it's got a brand new clutch pressure plate like you said it did.
Yeah.
We won't know until we pull the motor. I just don't understand. We're going to pull the motor out. We're going to take the clutch, pressure plate, and all that shit off the back of the motor. We're going to put it on this motor over here. And then we're going to slide the motor back in. There's no reason to take the transmission out of that car to change the clutch. We can change the clutch just by pulling the motor. You pull the motor, you're going to put a motor in it anyway, right?
yeah.
So you pull the motor, you put a clutch on the back of the motor, and then you slide the motor back down in the hole. Bella, go lay down. You go slide the motor back down in the hole, and then you bolt it up and you're done. It doesn't make sense to drop a transmission when you got to pull the motor to do the clutch anyway. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
It really don't make a whole lot of
So
sense.
the distributor cap that was on my end here.
That broke because when you were driving it.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that's the only problem with this motor from the get-go. I have a feeling that's what the problem was. I think you heard that knocking noise. You heard the distributor cap and the rotor hitting that bolt inside there. I think you heard that knocking, and you assumed, but I'm not 100% because they've got the oil pumps out of this motor, the oil pans off this motor.
Yeah, oil pump and oil pan are still
at
the shop.
Well, we don't need them because we got the other motor with everything we need.
Exactly.
But if this was still hooked up, I could turn this thing over and I could listen to it, and I bet this motor's probably not bad. But I'm not 100% now because
this one was locked. It was locked.
This motor locked up.
Yeah, it locked up. Mm-hmm.
That is okay. But it don't make no sense. You said you drove it there.
No. This isn't the original motor. This is the
Did this motor shut off going down the road?
This motor was put in, and when they turned it on, it ran for about 5 minutes and then did a run after
Put the
that.
motor in here.
The same shop.
The same shop put the motor in here?
Yeah.
Okay,
So this is the second motor I bought that I told you that fucked
you
up.
haven't bought this motor?
Yeah.
What did you pay for this motor?
I just paid for the short block. I paid $200 for the short block, and that was it. The head was originally on my original motor, yeah. So I just paid for the short block. That's it.
I never even seen. I don't know. When we get the other motor in here, before I take this motor back for the core,
Okay.
before I take it to the core, I'm gonna pop the head on this and see if the cam's locked up on this or see what might have happened. See if it's in the bottom or the top. So I don't know.
Okay.
I know this just sucks for you. That's all.
Yeah, it does.
I feel bad for you. I really do.
So I still don't. I really don't understand this part at all here.
Well,
because the brakes were definitely working fine before I bought it in.
Well, yeah, but what they did is when they pulled the axles, when they pulled this loose to pull the axles, normally what we do is we pull the bottom ball joint bolt. We pull the bottom ball joint. We pull the strut bracket right here. We pull that. Then we pop this out and pop the axle out. But there's no reason I mean, some people are different, I guess. But we don't take caliper off to do the transmission, to do the clutch.
Yeah, because
that was part of confusing me. But also confusing me is, did they pull the tranny or did they put the motor in? They just pulled the motor. But why would they pull the axle? I'm confused. I don't understand. I really don't understand because you don't have to pull the axles to pull the motor.
Okay.
You got to drop the carrier bearing. There's a carrier bearing that bolts. That's that piece of axles out in the trunk. That bolts to the block. But you can unbolt that from the block and the motor still come out. The motor's about 3 bolts away from coming out of here. So I have the motor out in just probably about 20 minutes. I'll have it out on the ground and then we'll
All right,
start
all
putting
right.
the other one back. But
All right, thank
yeah,
you.
so, all
All
right.
right, I gotta run now.
I know you do. I don't want to see you get late and get in trouble. You'll be in trouble.